Hello! Today we are going to be painting with the force of gravity. So what you need for this project is a blank canvas, paint, paper plate, and lots of water. So, do you know what gravity is? I mean, things fall to the ground when we drop them, right? So, what makes things fall to the ground? Well, gravity is the force that attracts two objects to each other. So here on planet Earth, we have heavy gravity. Not too heavy though. Some planets you can't even lift your foot. Some planets you float. So here on Earth, not gravity, we have a nice balance that allows us to do everyday things. But sometimes we don't really get to see them in slow motion. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to paint with gravity. All right, so I have some paint here. I'm going to get some red, some orange, and some blue. There we go. Now, looking at this paint, is it a solid? Not really. It's kind of dripping when I do this. So I guess it's a liquid, right? It's definitely not a gas because it doesn't go into the air and we can actually see it. So I'm going to make this just a little bit more of a liquid by adding H2O. All right. Now, I'm going to be using a paintbrush, but I'm going to add a lot of water to my brush so we can look at gravity. Right. Now, I'm going to hold my canvas straight up because I want to see how gravity would fall with no different motion, no different interaction, just the typical push and pull of our gravity. A little up here. Oh, there we go. Now, do you think that the paint will stop in the middle of the canvas, or is it going all the way down? Which direction is it going? Is it going left, right, up, down? Let me get some more. I'm gonna switch up some colors. Let's get some difference. Okay. There's some orange. All right, so push is when things go away from us. So what is the paint doing? Is it going away from me, or is it pulling, which is closer to me? What do you think? Let's get some red in here. Now, what happens if I change the direction of my canvas? Like, it's up and down right now and I'm holding it still, but what happens if I get some more paint and when I put it on there, I change the direction? It kind of went to the side. So if I do it this way, it's going down again. So it's always going to the ground. It's always going wherever the ground is instead of going up, going left, going right. So our paint isn't really floating. It's going straight down. So motion is when you change the position of an object, because that's the force that is applied. So what we did was we changed the motion, but things still went down to the ground because that's where gravity goes. It holds us to the ground. So we painted with gravity this way, but have you ever heard of a pendulum? A pendulum is a fixed object hung from another point, so it can swing freely back and forth due to the force of gravity. So when we put something swinging from this fixed point and put paint in that object, we can see the pattern of gravity when it swings back and forth. So I've got a cup here. I poked a hole in the bottom and I put some tape there because I'm going to put some paint in here, and then we're going to hang it from the broom, and then we're going to see what happens. So let me put some paint in here. Alright. I'll add a little red in there. Alright, I'm going to add just a little bit of water. Maybe a little bit more water. There we go. All right. Then I'm going to put my pendulum hanging from the fixed point, which just happens to be my broom. Now, I'm going to start with my string right there. Okay, I'm going to tie a little knot to hold it, but not too tight, so I can untie it again. All right. Now I'm going to take the tape off and I'm going to push. We'll push it lightly. I'm going to start it moving like that. So what pattern is this making? I hold it up. Let's add some more water. Is that an oval? Let's look at that one more time. So when I push it hard, it goes the furthest out on my paper. When I push it soft or it slows down, it stays to the center of my paper. It can make a line, or it can continue to make a circle, or even an oval, but it does it over and over and over again. I wonder why. For example, when you're on a swing set and you're setting in the swing and you're going back and forth, that's a pendulum. That's because you've got your fixed point and the force is you being pushed away and then gravity is pulling you back. So that's kind of like what happened here. I pushed my cup away, but since it had a fixed point, it came back to me, but didn't just come back to me, it swung around. So it makes circles left and right. So what's another way you would paint with gravity? Let me know.